Foreign Minister Sameh Shukri takes part in ministerial meeting on Sudan in Chad. Welcome back. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi received on Monday Sultan of Indian Bahra sect Mufaddal Saifuddin, his sons and his representative in Cairo, Mufaddal Muhammad, in the attendance of Chief of the General Intelligence General Abbas Kamel. President al-Sisi hailed the Sultan being a clear, dear guest visiting Egypt and lauded his sect's role in restoring the holy shrines along with the other historical mosques in Egypt. The Bahra Sultan, meanwhile, expressed appreciation for Egypt under the leadership of President Sisi, given its efforts for enhancing tolerance and peaceful coexistence among the different religious sects and social categories, based on its people's deep understanding of the correct teachings of the divine religions. He also praised the comprehensive development witnessed in Egypt in all fields, as well as its active role on the regional and international arenas in support of issues of preoccupation to the Islamic world. At the end of the meeting, the head of the state bestowed upon the Bahra Sultan the Shah of the Nile in appreciation for the latter's activities in Egypt on the social, cultural, and charitable fronts. The 31st convention of the Joint Higher Egyptian-Jordanian Committee kicked off on Monday in Amman under the chairmanship of Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli and Jordanian Prime Minister Bishr el-Qaswan. The meeting between the two sides signed some 12 cooperation agreements and memoranda of understanding in different fields. Addressing a press conference after the meeting, Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli said that over the past years, all the challenges and problems hindering the path of cooperation have been removed and were crowned with the important developmental projects, including in the field of infrastructure, energy, and public transportation. The Prime Minister asserted Egypt's keen interest in boosting future cooperation in all fields, in line with the presidential directives, and hailed the care that the Egyptian community received in Jordan. The Jordanian Prime Minister, meanwhile, said the convention reviewed the progress of bilateral cooperation, as well as the Arab industrial integration with the United Arab Emirates and Bahrain. The Jordanian Prime Minister, for his part, asserted his country's keenness on boosting the three-way mechanism with Egypt and Iraq. The Jordanian top official also said that he agreed with the Egyptian side on the support of the two-state solution as the only means of solving the Middle East conflict. Foreign Minister Sameh Shukri took part on Monday in the first ministerial meeting after Sudan's neighboring state summit in the Chadian capital, Jamena. The meeting aims to introduce solutions to settle the Sudanese crisis and to maintain the African country's territorial integrity. Addressing the meeting, Foreign Minister Shukri said the initiative launched by Sudan's neighbors in Cairo was the largest proof of their keenness to stand by the African country to overcome its plight and put an end to its devastating conflict. He noted that Egypt in particular was keen to establish contact among all Sudanese parties and bring them to negotiations for a way out of the crisis. Egypt's top diplomat said the meeting is a real interception and interpretation of the Egyptian summit's recommendation for hammering out through vision and taking coordinated steps toward halting the Sudanese bloodshed and maintain Sudan's unity and stability and curbing the repercussions of its crisis on its neighboring countries. The foreign minister stressed the significance of concrete efforts for convincing the conflicting parties in Sudan to immediately end the ceasefire. He called on the neighboring states to take immediate procedures to deliver quick relief aid to the Sudanese people. Syrian state news agency Sana said that 4 Syrian soldiers were killed and another 4 were wounded in an Israeli occupation missile attack near the Syrian capital, Damascus, early on Monday. More details.
Four Syrian soldiers and two Iran-backed fighters were killed on Monday in pre-dawn Israeli occupation strikes near Damascus in the latest deadly occupation air raid to hit conflict-hit Syria. The airstrikes reportedly targeted Syrian government forces and military positions and weapons depots. Two government forces and 5 foreign fighters were wounded in the strikes, 4 of them in critical condition. The Israeli occupation strikes hit areas near Damascus International Airport, all close to the capital, destroying weapons and ammunition depots belonging to Iran-backed groups. Earlier on Monday, state media cited military sources as saying that 4 Syrian soldiers were killed and 4 others were wounded in strikes. The source added that Syrian air defenses intercepted the Israeli occupation missiles and shot down some of them. During more than a decade of unrest in Syria, the Israeli Occupation Authority has launched hundreds of airstrikes on its territory, targeting Iran-backed forces and Hezbollah militants as well as Syrian army positions. On the 19th of July, Israeli occupation airstrikes near Damascus killed 3 pro-government fighters and wounded 4 others. Syria's foreign ministry had condemned the attack in the strongest terms. In a statement carried by Sana, it called on the United Nations and the Security Council to take immediate action to oblige the occupation authority to desist from these criminal policies.
Dozens of Israeli illegal settlers stormed the Holy Al-Aqsa Mosque from Al-Maghriba Gate under heavy protection of the occupation forces. The illegal settlers carried out provocative rounds and Talmudic rituals inside the mosque. The occupation forces spread their elements inside the mosque's yards and at its gates to secure the incursions made by the extremists. The mosque's country yard and the surrounding witnessed daily incursion and is the scene of frequent confrontations between the violators, where the illegal settlers, the occupation forces, and the worshippers defending the holy compound. A judicial official has said that at least 4 migrants died and 51 were missing. That came after a migrant ship sank off Tunisian Kirkena Island, adding that all the migrants on board